Just going through a few more of these emails. This one's from Kent from Nova Scotia, Canada. He says, Carl, he's wondering if you've got any personal mantras that you could pass along. For instance, he reminds us of Ben Franklin's famous mantra, waste not, want not.
Who said that?
Ben Franklin.
What did he do? What was his job?
Benjamin Franklin was a well-respected American politician from the 1800s. He was a sort of thinker, a philosopher, a scientist, deeply respected. Also a big political figure. He features on the dollar bill or the $10 bill or something. Yeah. So he's one of the great sort of American Enlightenment thinkers. And he came up with the mantra, waste not, want not.
You must know waste not, want not. I mean, that's just...
Do you understand the phrase waste not, want not?
No, not really, no. What does it mean? I've never used it.
It's like, don't throw stuff away because you might need it, and therefore you won't be wanting anything because you didn't throw it away.
So he was a bit of a hoarder.
If you don't waste food, for instance, then you
He's a bit of a hoarder.
For God's sake.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, he's a man in power. Is that the best thing he ever said?
No, I'm sure he came up with many, many profound things.
Why is that one
he did
remembered?
experiments in electricity and conducting electricity, all sorts.
But that impresses me more, inventing electricity, than someone...
He didn't invent electricity.
Wait a minute! Don't impress you more than what?
Just saying, waste not, want not. I don't think it's that good. It's not even catchy.
How would you word it?
I'd just say, whoa, don't be chucking that out. You might need that later.
Don't be chucking that out. You might need that later. Karl Pilkington.
Whereas some would argue that waste not, want not is perhaps a little bit more pithy, a little bit more...
We should go through great sayings and phrases and say
if he could, well, firstly, does he know what they mean? And then secondly, can he improve them?
That would be brilliant.
We'll do that next time.
All right, let's see. Okay, Winston Churchill. Never have so few done so much for so many. What do you think of that? How would you... Do you know what that means?
I'd just be annoyed if I was one of them who gave a lot for a few or whatever, right?
No, gave a lot for so many. If you were one of those few that gave so much for so many, i.e. it means these few good men, their actions freed the world. They freed the world. They have an impact on every person in the world, and they were few brave men, and that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I was one of them men who gave up his life, right, I'd want a name check. I don't want to be bungled in with everyone else who is saying a load of blokes gave it their lives. Well done on that. See you later.
That's brilliant.
Did you just say bungled in?
Bungled in, yeah.
You made up a word.
I don't want to be bungled in.
You made up a word. See, that's it. You see, we've been looking for it. That's original. That's Karl Pilkington. I don't want to be bungled in.
Right, do you know we've chatted about charities before, haven't we?
Sure. Yeah.
Done a lot of stuff on that, right? Just coming back from Manchester, right? Got off the train, Euston.
Yeah.
Right? Got off the train, walking through the busy bit and stuff. There's this fella stood there, right? Good charity worker.
Yeah.
Right? Nice looking fella who's got his suit on, a tie and everything, quite respectable and that, right? Look down at his bucket, all money's been put in the bucket and that, right? On the front of the bucket, right? It says collecting for the homeless at Christmas. Now, why can't they do that?
What, the homeless?
The homeless people. Why is some fella taking his time out, right, his own time where he could be at home? Why?
Some of us have got homes to go to.
Yeah. Why? Do you know what I mean?
What do you think? Just give them the buckets?
Well, what are the homeless people doing whilst he's doing that? Is what I'm saying. What have they got on the timetable?
Cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman.
What would prevent a homeless person and an entrepreneurial or homeless person just getting a bucket and writing that on there themselves?
Could I suggest something? Hunger. Some drug addiction, traumas, often mental illness, just possibly too depressed to get up, put a suit on and go to Euston Station with a nice bucket with some writing on it.
And then, right, I was thinking about that, right, and I was walking down the street in London with Suzanne, saw a little homeless, well, I didn't see the homeless bloke, right, I saw a leg, right, sticking out of a doorway, thought, here we go, right, walked past it, right, you're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Homeless.
Yeah.
Chinese fella. I've never seen one of them. No, I'm not having a go, right? But have you ever seen... do you know what I mean? That was a shock.
I really don't think I have. I think he's got me there. I hate to say it, but I must say I can't remember ever seeing a homeless Chinese person.
Weird, isn't it? I actually said, I was walked past and I said to Suzanne, did you see that? She went, what? I said, just look back there. She said, what? I said, that homeless fella, look back at him. She said, what? I said, he's Chinese. And she said, yeah, good point.
Good point. Of course she did.
She said that to shut you up.
She didn't want to get into a conversation with you. I got a text from Carl yesterday, Steve.
A text from Carl, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just read it to you. Okay. See you to Moz for a face rub at 6:30 then. No bum tubes, though. So I was intrigued, and I called Carl and said, I think you've just sent me a text by mistake. What's the explanation of that?
My mate, right, Russell, he said, you know, there's things that go on in life that you need to experience.
Yeah?
He said, just pop along. And I didn't say yes straight away.
What's a face rub? You mean a facial? Where you lay down...
You just clean your face with a flannel and that.
So you're going to go lie down with another man and have your face
Well, no, this is what I was saying to him. There's a couple of questions. I didn't just say yes straight away. I questioned it. I said, well, I'm not that happy with this. So I said, look, there's nothing weird going on here, is there? I said, it's not a house, is it? It's a proper clinic and that. He said, yeah, it's proper. You wear a dressing gown and that. I said, well, I'm not that
So
happy
he's already got you in the dressing gown?
Yeah, well, I haven't agreed to that. Today I've worn a little round polar neck sort of jumper so I don't have to take it off. It's not going to get in the way of my face. I made sure I didn't wear a shirt with a collar. I'm not taking this off. They can put the dressing gown on top of this.
Right.
I don't know if it's a woman who rubs my head. Don't know if it's a bloke or whatever.
Well, the thing is, you get extra, don't you, for your face rub, because your face goes all the way back over the top of your head down to the back of your neck.
But all I was,
so you've got a big face, haven't you?
All I was saying to him is, I'll have the face rub, but I don't know if once you're in there,
right,
they try and sell you the bum tube thing.
What's the bum tube? Is that a euphemism? What are you talking about?
The thing where they pop a tube in and put coffee in your belly and it cleans you out and that.
An enema? Why would you have that?
I don't want it. I don't think
Why
you
not?
need to. Just because I think I've said to you before about, you know, you don't need to be that clean inside. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind washing my face. But what occasion do you need where you're that cleaned out? Do you know what I mean? And it's always a clear tube and that, and you see all the stuff whizzing past. I don't understand why it's clear. I don't know why you've got to see what's coming out of you. Like it's, you know, like the generation game, making notes of what's whizzing past. Forget it.
I was watching some different TV, saw an amazing documentary. It was called Tribes. This guy, and he goes and lives with different tribes around the world, these small little indigenous people. And there was one, he went to Papua New Guinea in Indonesia, right, Carl? He lived with the Kombai tribe. All right. Now, this Papua New Guinea is an extraordinary place because it is one of the only places left on Earth that hasn't been fully explored. There are parts of it that it's just blank on the map because they've never explored there. They don't know what's there. They don't know what's going on. So, firstly, that must already freak you out. Imagine that. 21st century, they have no idea what's going on down there.
But do they need to know if there's nothing going on?
Well, they don't know what's going on. There could be stuff going on.
No, but there's no chance that they'll go, we haven't been over there, and someone goes and there's like an Arndale centre. Nothing's going to be there, is it? So there's no...
Well, I'll tell you what is there, okay? There's these various small tribes. Some of these tribes are still cannibals, eating people from other tribes.
Do they know they could move on? Have they got a telly? Or have they seen a telly and gone, I'm not up for that? Or are they saying...
It's not the Amish.
They haven't chosen
But what is the difference between the Amish and these people?
Well, the Amish are a group of people that choose to live in that way. These people are just essentially untouched by civilization. I mean, they do have interaction with civilization and people do come there, but they still live in this very, very almost prehistoric way.
They did buy a telly, but there was nothing on because there isn't any broadcasters.
They couldn't plug it in.
Yeah.
They're having an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
But there was one guy, okay, now he said that his brother was dying. This was a couple of years ago, right? His brother was dying. He said to his dying brother, what happened? Why are you dying? This guy said, it was a bloke in another village. Okay, he goes over to the other village. He kills this other bloke, right? He eats him, or eats bits of him. The other village gets a bit annoyed. They go, what's going on? Why did you kill this bloke? He went, sorry about that, right? They said, well, you need to make it up to us. He gave him a pig. They said, a pig's not enough. They gave him 5 pigs, so 5 pigs apparently made up for the fact that they'd killed one of them. They said, well, hang on, what are you going to do with this bloke's wife?
Why were they bartering? Why didn't they just get the police in and say, what's going on?
What police?
Yeah. Why didn't they call in Kojak? Because he'd have sorted it out, wouldn't he?
What I mean is, right, they're miles away from anything, but it doesn't sound like the great place to live, right? Could they not move? Could one of them go, do you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm moving or whatever and go to a proper city. How far away is this? These Papa people to the next? To the next.
They're like the Smurfs. They're very like the Smurfs.
But how many miles away from a place with a normal life going on?
But think about this, Carl. Firstly, they don't speak the language, so they don't have any practical skills. They've got no experience of civilization. So even if they chose to go and live in one of these cities, what can they do? How can they function?
I think there's some bacteria that has better lives than that.
That's got to be offensive.
Why?
Okay, how about this is one of the weirdest things. This is one of the weirdest things, right?
Sorry. An entire people, an entire race
just
of people.
dismissed.
No,
just dismissed.
I'm not having a go, but I'm just saying I wouldn't fancy it, is what I mean.
But they don't know of another world. How can they imagine that they could... Oh, I'll tell you what, this is boring. I'm tired of hunting for food and eating fish from the river. I'll tell you what, I'd like a world where there's iPods and room service. I'm going to go and move to New York. They're not thinking like that, are they, Carl? Because they don't know about this other world.
People go to these places on holiday now. They like a little bit of danger. They like to see how the others live. So all I'm saying is we know they exist. The Papa people, maybe people aren't going there. You know, it doesn't sound like the best place. You know, I can't imagine it having a tourist board or anything, right? But would they accept me if I popped over there and, you know, with Suzanne in Papa?
Well, okay, this is one of the things that they do, okay, which is a tradition you may have to do. These combi, right, they invert their penises. So they push their penises back up inside their bodies.
Like a sock.
What for?
Well,
Keep it out of the way.
Of what?
Well, if you're running through the undergrowth chasing a hog, you don't want it flapping away, you know. But it's also become a kind of ceremonial thing. So if you were over there, you may well have to try it yourself.
You would have to try it yourself. If you went there, you'd have to try it yourself.
But even caveman had little pants on. Why haven't they?
Whoa!
Slow down.
Rewind.
What do you mean?
Again, you've been watching the Flintstones.
No. It's just, you know.
Is it a leopard skin pair of pants that's actually quite a... Go on.
But it's a well-known fact that they wore, like, bear pants or whatever.
Bear pants? What do you mean, bear pants? No, listen, you are a qualified anthropologist, so what...
I mean that, you know, whenever you see them on footage or in a museum...
Footage?
Yeah. Whenever you see that early
It's a bit shaky, isn't it? It's black and white as well, isn't it? Caveman footage.
You always see them wearing a little bit of fur little pants and that. So what I'm saying is, even though... What year is it to these people in the woods?
I don't know what this conversation is anymore. He's just clutching at straws. His mind, it's like a fly, his mind, isn't it? It's just buzzing round, it's trying to find a window. It is just
it's
like...
hitting against pieces of information, but then just bouncing off.
Yeah.
Dazed to perplex.
Forget it then.